Hey everybody, what's up? Today I'm bringing you a video talking about escaping the narcissistic family system. As someone who has lived in a narcissistic family system since I've been born, I'm 20 years old now, and I still have not escaped my narcissistic family. They threaten to kick me out on a pretty daily basis for not letting them financially use or exploit me or letting them extort me. So, as someone who has experienced this firsthand, dealing with a narcissistic family every single day of her life, I have an older brother and an older sister who also play roles in this narcissistic family system. But the main perpetrator of the narcissistic family system that I'm in is my father. And because of the way my father acts, my mother has followed his suit, and they are both very strong narcissists. She's an enabler, but she's also become a narcissist over the years, more and more, because of my father's actions towards her and the way that she gets treated by him, and just the atmosphere in the house and the environment that we live in as a family. So I'm just going to jump right into this video so I don't have it too long. In the architecture of a healthy family, a child is built a foundation of unconditional love and validation. In the narcissistic family system, this blueprint is inverted. The foundation is not love, but a need for supply, not validation, but control. Here, the family does not function as a unit of mutual support, but as a solar system revolving around a central sun. The narcissistic parent or parents, with every other member's role predetermined to maintain its light and absorb its heat. One child is often cast in the most psychologically brutal role, that of the scapegoat. To be the scapegoat is to be handed an assigned sin, a mantle of blame for every crack in the family's fragile facade, and the journey to escape this role is a slow, deliberate climb out of a well-constructed prison. The scapegoat is the family's lightning rod. When the narcissistic parent or parents feel a flicker of insecurity, a hint of failure, or the sting of a wounded ego, that negative energy does not dissipate. It is channeled and discharged onto the scapegoat, which I have been the scapegoat my entire life. A mother's bad day at work becomes your fault for leaving a dish in the sink. A father's professional jealousy is soothed by mocking your career choices. The family's collective anxiety about finances, social status, or internal conflict is projected onto the scapegoat, making the scapegoat the identifiable problem. This is not random. The scapegoat is often the most sensitive, the most truthful, or empath, or the most unwilling to participate in the family's delusions. By making you the source of all problems, the narcissistic parent or parents unify the rest of the
You realize you
family.
need milk for this?
I'm not gonna make that today. I'm busy right now making a video. I'm not gonna make that today.
Do you want it left in the fridge or in the freezer?
Just leave it in the fridge, please. I'm making a video. Um, this is not random. The scapegoat is often the most sensitive, the most truthful, or the most unwilling to participate in the family's delusions. By making the scapegoat the source of all the problems, the narcissistic parent or parents unifies the rest of the family, or the golden child, the enabler, the flying monkeys, against a common enemy, thus cementing their own control. The toll this takes is profound and insidious. The external narrative that the scapegoat is difficult, lazy, selfish, or unstable begins to warp our internal narratives. Scapegoats may develop what is known as borrowed shame, carrying weight of guilt that is not theirs to bear. Perceptions of reality is constantly gaslit, being told that memories are wrong, being told that feelings are invalid, and being told reactions are hysterical. Trust in the self erodes. Scapegoats may find themselves in a cycle of self-sabotage, subconsciously fulfilling the prophecy laid out for them, or conversely becoming a relentless overachiever, forever trying to prove their worth to an audience that is determined not to see it. The deepest wound is the perversion of love itself, which becomes conditional, transactional, and weaponized. Escape, therefore, is not a single dramatic act of leaving, but a slow, sharp process of reclamation. It is a journey from the outside in and the inside out. The first and most crucial step is the internal awakening. This begins with education, understanding the patterns of narcissistic personality disorder, Scapegoating and emotional abuse is not an academic exercise, it is the first crack of light in a dark room. It provides the vocabulary for your experience and, most importantly, validates that you are not crazy. The problem is not you, it is a pathological system. This knowledge becomes the foundation for rebuilding your shattered sense of reality. You must learn to trust your own perceptions again, to keep a private journal of events and feelings, and to affirm to yourself that your emotions are valid and your memories are indeed real. With this, with this internal fortification, you can begin the external reorientation. This involves a deliberate and strategic shift in your engagement with the family system. You learn to stop jading, also known as justifying, arguing, defending, and explaining. Every justification is fuel for the narcissist's fire. Instead, you practice setting firm, non negotiable boundaries. This might look like limiting phone calls with your family to once a week, refusing to engage in certain topics with your family, or leaving the room when insults begin with your family. These boundaries are not walls built to start a fight, but moats drawn to protect your inner castle. They will be tested, and the family system will react with increased fury, a phenomenon known as an extinction burst, because it is fighting for its survival. Holding firm is essential. Simultaneously, you must begin building your chosen family. The narcissistic family thrives on isolating you, the scapegoat. Your counter move is to cultivate deep, reciprocal relationships with friends, mentors, partners, and support groups. These connections provide the mirroring and validation you were denied, showing you what healthy love and respect truly looks like. A therapist specializing in complex trauma, PTSD, or narcissistic abuse can be a guiding light in this process, helping you untangle the deeply ingrained patterns and heal your core wounds. Finally, escape culminates in physical and financial independence wherever is possible. For some, this means moving out of the parents' house, the family's house, often with great secrecy and planning to avoid manipulative interference. For others, it may mean creating a life so financially and emotionally self sufficient that your engagement with the family becomes a choice, not a necessity. The ultimate goal is to reduce your dependence on the system until your participation is on your own terms. In dealing with narcissistic parents and family, they financially exploit their children. They like to take advantage financially and make sure that we have $0 in savings, $0 in checking. We don't know how to take care of ourselves. We're just as poor as they are. And that's a cycle that we need to break as a collective. The final and perhaps most profound stage of escape is the realization that you may never receive the apology, acknowledgement, or closure you deserve. The narcissistic system is incapable of it. True freedom, therefore, lies in releasing that hope. It is an act of grieving for the parents you deserved but you never had, for the childhood that was stolen, for the idealized family that never existed. Letting go of the fantasy is what finally allows you to fully embrace your own true reality. Escaping a narcissistic family system is a quiet, courageous revolution. It is the slow, deliberate process of taking back your name, your story, and your soul from the people who assigned you their sins. It is not a journey of finding yourself, but of unbecoming everything they force you to be, until all that remains is the strong, resilient, and authentic self that was there all along, waiting patiently in the wings for its chance to finally live its truth.